I'm a brain surgeon, and I want to tell you something that most people over 60 never hear from their doctors. Have you ever opened your eyes at 3 a.m., feeling wide awake even though your body is begging for rest? Maybe your heart feels like it's beating too fast, your mind starts running in circles, and no matter how many times you shift the pillow, sleep refuses to come back. Many people assume this is just what happens with age, but researchers are now discovering that something very specific is at play: a sudden spike in cortisol, the stress hormone that becomes harder to regulate after 60. And when cortisol rises at the wrong time, it pulls you out of deep sleep and leaves you staring at the ceiling before dawn. The surprising part is that this problem isn't permanent, and it isn't a sign that your best nights are behind you. In fact, new studies show that certain foods can gently calm the nervous system, help bring cortisol back down during the night, and support the kind of slow, peaceful sleep your brain and body desperately need. When your cortisol rhythm steadies, memory sharpens, inflammation lowers, and morning energy returns in a way that feels almost like getting a piece of your old self back. This is why choosing the right evening foods becomes not just a habit, but a small act of healing. Over the next few minutes, you'll hear about 5 simple foods that guide your body back toward balance. And food number 1 may be the most powerful of all, something scientists have only recently begun exploring for its nighttime cortisol-lowering effect. So if you've been feeling tired, drained, or older than you truly are, stay with me. You can reset your nights at any age, and it starts with what you put on your plate before the sun goes down. Tonight, change begins here. Now, food number 5 is what many sleep researchers call the night magnesium booster, because it delivers one of the most calming minerals your body can use before bed. A simple handful of pumpkin seeds can make a real difference, and most people are surprised that something so small can shift the way their nervous system settles. At night, pumpkin seeds are packed with magnesium, a mineral that quietly supports hundreds of processes in the body, including the signals that help your brain slow down and your muscles relax. When magnesium levels are steady, cortisol naturally begins to fall, and the brain can move into the deep wave sleep cycle that keeps you asleep instead of leaving you awake at 3 in the morning. This matters even more after 60 because the body slowly becomes less efficient at absorbing magnesium from food. Years of stress, certain common medications, and changes in digestion all add up, leaving many older adults with low levels without realizing it. And when magnesium drops too far, the nervous system becomes jumpy. Muscles tighten more easily, the heart may beat a little harder at night, and the brain has trouble releasing calming signals. This is why you might notice twitching in your legs, a restless feeling that makes it hard to stay still, or a sense of worry that seems to grow stronger the later it gets. These symptoms often feel random, but they are classic signs of magnesium deficiency. Understanding this connection brings a sense of relief because it shows that your nighttime struggles are not your fault. They're not a sign of weakness or that your body is simply getting old. They are signals that something is missing, something your body still knows how to use if you give it the chance. When magnesium rises, a natural messenger called GABA becomes more active, helping the brain turn down stress alarms and guiding cortisol back into a healthy rhythm. Many people feel a sense of calm within hours, as if the body finally gets permission to rest. The best part is how easy it is to add pumpkin seeds into your evening routine. You can sprinkle a small handful over yogurt, mix them into a warm bowl of oatmeal, or enjoy them on their own as a gentle pre-bed snack. They are affordable, simple, and require no complicated preparation. What begins as a tiny, almost effortless choice can create a quiet shift that your body immediately recognizes. And as your nights grow calmer, you start to feel more like yourself in the morning. Steady, clear, and ready to take on the day. Food number 4 is a gut-calming, cortisol-lowering option that often goes overlooked, yet it can play a powerful role in keeping you asleep past 3 in the morning. A small serving of Greek yogurt is a perfect choice because it contains probiotics that directly support your digestive system while gently signaling the nervous system to relax. Many people assume that waking at 3 a.m. is only about stress or hormones, but science is showing that the gut and brain are deeply connected. Inflammation in the digestive tract can trigger cortisol spikes that jolt you awake, even if you feel otherwise calm. Your gut may be the real reason you toss and turn at night, sending signals your body interprets as danger when it should be resting. The link between gut health and sleep is strong, especially after age 60. Beneficial bacteria in the digestive tract help regulate melatonin, the hormone that tells your brain it's time to sleep. When gut flora is balanced, evening melatonin rises steadily, supporting a deep, restorative sleep cycle. But as we age, digestion often slows, stomach acid changes, and the balance of gut bacteria shifts. Even minor inflammation or bloating can trigger stress responses in the body, sending cortisol levels upward and disrupting the natural rhythm of the night. Suddenly, you find yourself awake, restless, or dealing with reflux that prevents falling back asleep. These experiences are common and completely normal, yet they are signals that your gut is asking for a little support. A simple nighttime snack can stabilize both blood sugar and stress hormones while calming the gut. A small bowl of Greek yogurt with a few berries or a teaspoon of oats can do the trick. These foods feed beneficial gut bacteria, reduce inflammation, and create a steady release of nutrients that signal the nervous system to relax. Even a single serving can help lower cortisol within hours, giving your body permission to settle back into deep sleep. Over just a few days, this gentle intervention can make a noticeable difference, allowing your body to reset its natural night cycle. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity and accessibility. No complicated supplements or strict routines are required. By choosing foods that support your digestive system in the evening, you are also supporting your brain, your hormones, and your energy for the day ahead. And within a week, many people notice reduced bloating, calmer nights, and mornings that feel brighter and more balanced. This is not just about eating differently, it's about reclaiming your nights and proving to yourself that even after 60, you can restore restful sleep and quiet the stress signals that have kept you awake for too long. Food number 3 is what sleep researchers often call the nighttime blood sugar stabilizer, because it helps prevent the dips in glucose that can send cortisol surging through your body between 2 and 4 in the morning. A handful of chia seeds is a perfect example. They are rich in fiber, healthy fats, and plant-based protein, all of which slow the release of sugar into your bloodstream and help maintain a steady energy level while you sleep. For many adults over 60, the ability to regulate blood sugar naturally declines, making these small dips more frequent and more likely to trigger stress hormones. This is why so many people find themselves waking abruptly in the middle of the night, heart racing, mind alert, even though their body is exhausted. When glucose drops too low, the body interprets it as a threat. Cortisol floods the bloodstream, signaling that energy is needed immediately. For older adults, this process is amplified because reduced insulin sensitivity and slower glucose metabolism make these nighttime dips more common. Over time, repeated spikes in cortisol can lead to increased belly fat, inflammation, brain fog, and even higher blood pressure. Waking at 3 a.m. is not just a frustrating inconvenience, it is a warning sign that your body is struggling to maintain balance. But the encouraging news is that this cycle is reversible with simple, consistent food choices that support steady glucose levels while calming your nervous system. Creating a bedtime ritual around these foods is straightforward and surprisingly effective. A small serving of chia seeds soaked in almond milk, a few walnuts, or a slice of high-fiber fruit like apple or pear can make a meaningful difference. Portion control matters. A modest amount is enough to stabilize blood sugar without feeling heavy before bed. By choosing these foods, you are essentially giving your body a gentle signal that it is safe to relax, that it doesn't need to flood cortisol in response to perceived energy shortages. This practice allows you to enter deeper REM sleep, which is when memory consolidates, tissue repairs, and stress hormone levels naturally decline. What makes this approach so empowering is how quickly you can notice changes. Within a few nights, many people report fewer sudden awakenings, calmer thoughts at 3 a.m., and waking in the morning feeling more rested and clear-headed. It becomes a small ritual, a predictable part of your evening that supports both physical health and mental well-being. By choosing to stabilize your blood sugar, you are actively protecting your brain, metabolism, and heart from the long-term effects of chronic nighttime cortisol spikes. This is not about complicated diets or extreme restrictions. It is about understanding the logic of your body, recognizing the chain of cause and effect, and taking simple, deliberate steps each night. By adding a blood sugar stabilizing snack before bed, you create a safe, calming environment for your nervous system. Reduce the risk of cortisol-driven disruptions and give yourself the chance to reclaim deep, restorative sleep. Even after 60, your nights can feel steady, peaceful, and replenishing because small intentional choices can change your sleep, your hormones, and the way you feel every morning. Food number 2 is a powerful anti-inflammatory option that can help lower nighttime stress hormones, and calm the body for deeper, uninterrupted sleep. Tart cherries are an excellent choice, rich in natural compounds that reduce inflammation while supporting the body's ability to produce melatonin. The hormone that signals it is time to rest. Many people assume that waking up at 3 a.m. is simply part of getting older, but research shows that inflammation plays a surprisingly strong role. When the body experiences chronic inflammation, the nervous system becomes more sensitive, and cortisol levels can rise in the middle of the night, pulling you out of restorative sleep even when you feel exhausted. Inflammation naturally increases after 60 due to a combination of factors: joint stiffness, slower digestion, long-term stress, and common medications. These changes are not signs of weakness. They are simply signals that your body is responding to decades of wear and tear. By choosing foods that actively fight inflammation, you give your body the chance to quiet these signals. Tart cherries contain antioxidants that reduce oxidative stress, calming the tiny cellular fires that would otherwise send cortisol surging and interfere with your natural sleep rhythm. Visualize your joints, your digestive tract, and your nervous system all cooling down as the night progresses, finally allowing your body to settle into deep, restorative rest. Including tart cherries in your evening routine is simple and effective. A small cup of fresh or frozen cherries, a few tablespoons of cherry juice diluted in water, or a warm drink made with cherry puree can provide the necessary compounds to help calm inflammation and support melatonin production. Timing matters. Consuming this food about 30 to 60 minutes before bed gives your body time to absorb the nutrients and begin lowering nighttime cortisol. Even minor improvements in inflammation can produce noticeable changes: less joint stiffness, a calmer digestive system, fewer sudden awakenings, and mornings that feel smoother and more energized. These small wins are signs that your body is responding positively and regaining balance. The beauty of this approach is its accessibility and its subtle power. You are not fragile, and you are not at the mercy of aging. You simply need the right fuel to help your body do what it already knows how to do. Nighttime inflammation is not inevitable. It can be reduced naturally, quickly, and safely. By consistently providing your body with tart cherries or other anti-inflammatory foods in the evening, you create a nightly routine that signals safety, calm, and restoration. Over time, this practice reinforces the body's natural rhythms, lowers oxidative stress, and reduces cortisol surges that rob you of rest. With patience and consistency, you can transform your nights into periods of healing, waking in the morning feeling steady, clear, and fully supported by the nutrition you've chosen to provide. This is not just eating differently, it's reclaiming your nights and protecting your sleep, your joints, your brain, and your overall vitality in a gentle, practical way. Food number 1, the most powerful cortisol-lowering bedtime option, is kiwi. It might surprise you that a small, vibrant fruit could have such a dramatic effect on your nighttime stress hormone levels, but research shows it can directly impact the brain-adrenal connection that controls cortisol release. Cortisol, often called the stress hormone, follows a natural daily rhythm. It rises in the morning to help you wake up and gradually falls in the evening, so your body can enter restorative sleep. After 60, however, this rhythm often shifts. Many older adults experience what scientists call cortisol inversion, where levels remain unusually high at night and fail to rise properly in the morning. This imbalance leaves you lying awake at 3 a.m., exhausted, anxious, and frustrated that your body seems to have forgotten how to rest. Kiwi addresses this problem in a surprisingly simple, natural way. The science behind kiwi's effect is compelling. This fruit is rich in serotonin precursors and antioxidants that help regulate the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, the system that manages stress hormone production. Serotonin not only calms the nervous system but also supports melatonin synthesis, which is critical for sleep onset and maintenance. When you consume kiwi about 1 to 2 hours before bed, your body can utilize these compounds to signal to the brain and adrenal glands that it is safe to reduce cortisol output. Essentially, you're helping retrain your body's internal clock and guiding it back to the natural rhythm that promotes deep, restorative sleep. Many people find this approach empowering because it shifts the sense of control back to you. You're no longer at the mercy of age-related hormonal changes. You're making a deliberate choice that influences your nervous system, metabolism, and sleep quality. Even small amounts, 1 or 2 kiwis per night, can produce noticeable changes within days. You may start to notice falling asleep faster, fewer nighttime awakenings, and waking in the morning feeling refreshed rather than groggy. This is not a temporary trick. It is a habit that, when done consistently, helps restore long-term hormonal balance. There are multiple ways to enjoy kiwi for maximum effect. Eating it fresh is simple, but you can also blend it into a smoothie with a spoonful of Greek yogurt, or pair it with a handful of pumpkin seeds to combine magnesium and fiber, both of which further support cortisol reduction. Timing is important. The key is to consume it about 60 to 90 minutes before bedtime, giving your body the opportunity to metabolize the compounds and begin signaling your nervous system to relax. Avoid pairing it with caffeine, alcohol, or heavy meals, as these can counteract its calming effects. A light, balanced pre-bed routine that includes kiwi can quietly train your body to recognize that it is time to wind down. Kiwi is more than just a sleep aid, it is part of a broader approach to reclaiming your nights. You can combine it with the other foods we discussed, tart cherries, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, and gut-supporting yogurt, to create a nightly ritual that stabilizes blood sugar, reduces inflammation, calms the nervous system, and lowers cortisol naturally. Each element plays a role, but kiwi is the crown jewel for directly influencing the adrenal response and helping reset the circadian rhythm. By consistently using these foods together, you send a clear, repeated message to your body. It is safe to rest, repair, and restore. Many people never discover kiwi's unique effect, which is why it often feels like such a revelation when it finally works. Those who incorporate it notice not only better sleep, but also improved energy, clearer thinking, and reduced stress during the day. You can imagine yourself drifting through the night without interruption, waking in the morning feeling calm, steady, and capable, ready to engage with your day fully. This transformation is achievable at any age, and it starts with small, intentional choices you make each evening. As you consider adding kiwi to your nightly routine, remember that consistency is key. One night alone will not fully reset years of disrupted cortisol patterns, but a few nights per week, repeated over several weeks, can make a profound difference. Notice the subtle signs: reduced restlessness, calmer evenings, lighter mornings. These are your body's signals that the system is responding, that the balance is returning, and that your sleep restoration is realistic and within your control. Reclaiming your nights is about more than just avoiding early awakenings. It is about regaining control over your hormonal health, energy levels, and overall well-being. By choosing kiwi as your bedtime ally, you are actively participating in your body's repair processes and creating a foundation for long-term sleep health. Incorporate it into a nightly ritual, pair it thoughtfully with other supportive foods, and honor the timing guidelines to maximize results. In doing so, you retrain your body, reduce cortisol, and step into a rhythm that feels natural, steady, and rejuvenating. This is the final piece of the countdown we started in the beginning, and it completes the full picture of how simple dietary choices can profoundly influence your sleep. Each food we covered builds on the last, and kiwi ties the system together, addressing the core hormonal imbalance that causes 3 a.m. awakenings. You now have the knowledge, the tools, and the practical steps to transform restless nights into periods of healing and restoration. You're not at the mercy of aging. You can retrain your body at any age. Start small, stay consistent, and watch your nights and your life change. If you found this helpful, consider liking and subscribing for more practical tips on restoring sleep, balancing hormones, and reclaiming vitality. Tonight, let kiwi guide your body back to rest.